Greetings, everyone. I'm Jamal from Life, Strength, and Health, and we are continuing our talk about breaking sugar addiction. This is our third installment. So if you didn't get a chance to check out the first two installments, I definitely encourage you to go back and check those out, part one and part two. We provided a link below so you can click on those and check those out. So before I dive into the topic of today, someone sent me on our blog a very, very good question. And the question was, you mentioned processed sugar as being harmful and not to be consumed. What about other types of sugar? Fruits, honey, nectar? How do we include or exclude them in our diet? I think that's a really good question. And I am going to respond to that, but I didn't want to just respond to it. I actually want to do an entire video on that. So probably the next part will address that. But just getting a little bit deeper into this topic of sugar addictions and the damage that sugar does to your body, I think that it's important for you to take personal inventory on where you're at so that we can understand the severity of the situation. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to pull out some paper, and I just want you to write, as I ask you these questions, just number them and just write yes or no. And if the more yeses you have, the more damage that is being done to your body. And the questions that I'm going to ask, these questions don't necessarily mean that sugar causes these things. However, sugar is the foundation that cause these imbalances, these shifts within your body that lead to these different things. So this leads in different directions based on these particular questions. So I'm going to ask you these questions so that you can take personal inventory. And some of these questions are personal. They are personal questions, but I really want you to reflect on them. I want you to be honest, and I want you to understand where you're at with everything. All right, so we're going to begin with the questions. So hope you got your paper. We'll get started. First question is, do you crave sugar often? And that could be added sugar or sweet things. The next question is, do you crave breads, pasta, and rice? Do you experience breakouts and rashes? Do you have toe and fingernail fungus? Do you have scaly skin? Do you have eczema or psoriasis? Do you get fatigued often? Do you experience forgetfulness? We're talking about short-term memory, not long-term memory. And just going back to the eczema and the psoriasis, it doesn't have to be new. It can be since you were little. Do you get fatigued often? Do you experience forgetfulness? We went through those. Do you ever have or had a yeast infection? This is for women. Yearly, a few times a year, monthly. Is there ever white foam or white looking waste in your feces? Hopefully when you have a bowel movement, you look in the toilet to examine what's coming out of you before you flush. That should be a common practice. A lot of people feel some kind of way about looking in the toilet, but it's very important that you study your body. All right. Do you get a lot of dandruff? Do you experience anxiety? Do you experience depression? Do you ever have phantom body aches? So it's different if you bang your knee. It's different if you go to the gym and you're sore. Like, these are phantom body aches for no reason at all. You're having body aches. Do you get tired after your meals? Do you get tired if you don't eat a meal, or do you get the shakes if you don't eat a meal? Do you ever wake up with night sweats? Do you get gassy and bloated after your meals? This is for women, do you experience abnormal vaginal odor? Does sunlight irritate your skin? So what I want you to do is I want you to tally that number up, and the more the yeses that you have, this is just a measure to let you know the severity of what's going on in your body, possibly and most likely as a result of sugar. So we're going to dive into what all of that means in some upcoming videos, but it's important for us to lay down the proper foundation. I appreciate the questions. They're giving us some concerns and things that we need to dive into. So if you have any more questions, please post them below. And if you think that this is valuable, that other people can really get a lot of this, please share it with them. And we will see you in the next video. All right. Peace and prosperity. Stay healthy.